Animation is hard. I think I made that apparent on my channel. I've made 2 full-length videos about the topic and subject of animation. And if you want to check out that, links are in the description below if you want to. But since making those videos, I always had a thought in mind that I've talked about these channels, but I never actually made animation before. I've done that in the past, but they sucked. I was like 11 when I made them. And I never done a storytime animation video before. So that's why in this video I'm going to explain to you how and why I've made my storytime animation video. It was for 2 reasons. The first reason was because to actually show you how difficult it actually is by diving into it firsthand myself and tell you my experience doing it, but also to prove that I'm good at animation. Who am I proving this to? Myself. Do not ask why. Now, without further ado, let's get into the story. And we're going to start with the idea of how I want to make this video. So, transition. So this all started on February 15th, when I had the idea to make a video where I talk about storytime animation channels, and basically describe the hard work that they do to make animations. I had this idea because I always thought that, wow, animation channels, they do all this awesome animation. It looks so good, and no one's really talking about it. So I made my video on the 19th of February, and it blew up. It got 600 views and 0 dislikes, which I'm really happy about. Thank you so much if you did watch that. While also making that, I decided, this is kind of cool. What if I can make one? And that's when the first thought blossomed into my head. The first idea, you could say, of what it would be like if I made a start animation channel. Although that went really fast, I just kind of forgot about it. But then, on March 3rd, I uploaded another video about animation. Where I basically teach people how to animate like leg movement, mouth movement, eye movement, stuff like that, And that was when I had the more prominent thought of actually making one. But again, that was just a thought. But unlike that thought, last time with starting animation channels, I just went away after a little bit. This thought stayed in me for a little bit longer, and actually just kind of, I was thinking about it in school, which, what else are you supposed to do in school? Work? Yeah, right. But yeah, that thought blossomed in my head, and I thought, I do have the materials to actually make this, and I can't be a person actually talking about animation if I haven't done it really at all, so why don't I do it? And that's when I first started actually wanting to make one. So then my journey started. Now, before I actually start the animation, I have to do 2 things. Figure out how I'm going to animate, and figure out what I'm going to animate on, like what app. Firstly, I decided to make it on a laptop to make it more, like, professional. Instead of just, like, doing a touchscreen animation, I want to do it like I'm actually, like, a story to animate myself. And funny enough, I actually have a drawing tablet that I got at 14 years old that I used 3 times and then never used again. Well, I still have that. And that was how I was going to animate. It was a drawing tablet on a laptop. Now for the animation app, originally I was going to use FlipaClip, but when I went on their site on the computer, it wouldn't let me download. So, don't know what that was about. Like, I'm clicking the download button, let me download, but it didn't work. So then I found another app that was free, that I could actually use for free. And I forgot what it was called, but it's basically Adobe, but instead of red, it was yellow. I'll put a picture of what it was on screen if I remember. But yeah, I figured that was the best one because it was free and it actually allowed me to do voiceovers, which was pretty useful, I would say. Really something I want to use. So now that I figure out what I need to do a step process before animation. I need to A, figure out what I'm going to talk about, like what story I'm going to tell. B, write the script, like how I'm going to tell it. And C, do a voiceover in an animation, like grab a microphone, talk to a microphone, and say my lines reading off the script so I can animate over the audio. Now, for my idea for what I'm going to animate, I decided to do for a story the time when my bully, whose name was not be named for their privacy's sake, um, where he slammed my head into a locker. Yeah, that's a really fun story. You probably want to hear that, don't you? So once I had the idea, I need a script. Now, picture in your mind how long a script would be. About one story about slamming my head into a locker. How many pages? How many lines? And how long it took me? Well, it took me one page to do it, 22 lines, and all that was in 30 minutes. 30 minutes it took me just to write the script. A one-page script took me 30 minutes. And honestly, I thought it would be the easy part, but it was actually really hard because one, I needed to actually remember fully what the story was so that I don't miss anything. Two, I need to figure out what way I'm going to tell it and how I'm going to tell it. And three, I also needed to add things like add location here so I know what to draw. And it was a very difficult process. So now when I watch animations, I think, wow, I cannot imagine how long they took to write that script. Imagine even with this 30-minute long video, it must have been a pain to animate and write the script for that. It must have been like 50 pages long, maybe more. But anyways, so I was originally actually going to print that because I typed it out on a laptop in like Google Doc, and I was going to print that. But the problem was my printer couldn't be used because it was out of ink, and my mom did order ink, but it would arrive on Tuesday. And the day I wanted to print it, the day I finished it, was on Sunday. So yeah, I'm not gonna wait 2 days to really do that. Also, something to mention is that when I was animating this, it was spring break. So that gave me enough time to not go to school and actually do nothing. But it worked on my animation. Okay, it did work. Now, I had the one-page script, and I grabbed my microphone. Now, instead of using this microphone, instead of using like this microphone right here, because I also want to do a voiceover for another microphone, so I can record the audio on this microphone. My mom actually ordered me a $50 microphone, which I didn't know was $50. I said, "Hey, can I have this microphone?" She said, "Yeah." And I was like, $50? You don't have to get it for me. You really don't have to get it. But she did. And then I said, okay, take some money out of my account so I can at least purchase some of it. She did. And then I got this microphone. It's a pretty simple microphone. It's a Mauno. 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 I think that's how you say it. It just has one thing, a volume button right here. That's it. Which I think that's all you really need. You don't need an echo button. You don't need a setting for headphones, which is what this microphone has. You just need a volume button and a way to detach it. So now that I had the microphone, I had to do a take. Read off the script and then read from that into the microphone. And then once I finished reading a certain lines I wanted to do, I would press stop record. And then I would press record again to read another section of the lines and then cycle repeat. But the problem with this is that you can only do one recording. Any other recordings, you had to pay for it, which sucks. So that's why I had to read the entire script from. Oh yeah, for the script, since I couldn't print it, I decided to open it in another smaller window and then read off that, which was difficult because I consistently just had to move it around as I tried saying the lines, which was annoying. But anyways, for the voiceover, I can only do one, and I had to pay to do more. So I had to read the entire thing in one take, and I'm really bad at grammar. Okay, I slur my words a lot, as you can tell from just right now. So it was really hard, and that was 30 minutes for me to actually complete that. But here's where this attempt kind of just failed. I had the voice, the microphone, but there was just one problem. See, the animation app I was using was free, but it was also really crappy because I didn't realize it until I got my voiceover in it. But I couldn't animate over the voiceover at all. Like the voice will play when I play the thing, but I cannot play it and animate. I couldn't do that, which is really difficult when I'm trying to listen to the audio to animate. And so, since it wouldn't let me do that, I decided to just not use the app anymore. I just deleted my progress. And now, I was back to square one with nothing. But then I tried to download Clip again to see if it would work, and I managed to download Clip. Um, the problem was I had to download a completely different app to download Clip from that app, which might have been a virus, but who cares? Okay, it's animation. We're used to things being ruined by one small thing. Well, you guys are. I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know crap. But yeah, now that I got the app, it's time to actually do the animation. Well, not animation. First, I had to redo the voiceover, and by this point, it was Tuesday, so I had the script printed on paper. Pause right now if you want to read. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, since I had a script printed out, I can now read it into the microphone. And Philco was actually better because I can do more than one take, read my lines, pause, and then read what I'm going to say, and then I unpause. Well, I start recording again, say certain lines, and over, recycle, repeat. Now, this actually took me like over 20 minutes because, like I said, I keep slurring my words because I'm really bad talking without not messing up. Yeah, I managed to get it done. So then, after that progress, I had to do something that I decided not to do when doing the animation process. You see, there are things you need to do with animation if you want to make a good animation. Well, not really a good animation, just make sure your animation is kind of set, you have a schedule, you know what to do, you have a checklist kind of. The thing is, well, the steps are have an idea, write your script, record audio, and the fourth step is not to animate but to storyboard. Basically, do a rough animation, and then the last part was to just kind of do the good animation. But I did not do the storyboard because, as I mentioned, I used to do animation with animation that suck, and I do not recommend you watch. The animation that I did there was I did not have a script, and I animated what I wanted to animate, then added the voiceover later because somehow that was less confusing. But as I do what I did there and just not have a storyboard or know what I was going to animate, I just wanted to run and see where things goes, and I'm kind of happy I did. That was a voice crack. And I'm kind of happy that I did, because I get to experiment with what I like and what I didn't like. And also, there was a problem with storyboarding. Because with Clip, if you had like extra frames for the voiceover, you can press a plus sign, and then bam, you have all your frames there. But if I did the storyboarding, that means I would have to constantly just keep deleting frames over and over and over. And it was going to be very annoying, especially if I was going to copy and paste some animations. Because you copy and paste animations that you have already drawn. But later will know that I would be deleting a lot more frames than I imagined. So now that we move on from the other section, let's first start with the animation process. That's right, we're getting into that now after like 10, 20 minutes, whatever. Definitely 10 minutes. Let's get into the animation process that I went through. With day one, So first I grab my laptop, plug in my drawing tablet, and then turn on my drawing pen. And then I sat down at 12 a.m. and was ready to draw. Now the dumb reason of why I decided to animate at midnight is because one, I wanted to make sure I had no distractions while animating, so I wanted to get up and do anything, no one can come bother me, I can just animate. And two, it was spring break, so I can do whatever I want, I can stay up however I want. Which, now looking back, it was really dumb, because I was going to be tired a lot, and not get a lot done if I just keep getting really tired. So, won't make that mistake again. So, yeah. I decided to animate at midnight, try pulling all-nighter. But before I actually start, animating stuff, I had to do two things. One, I needed to figure out how many frames I'm gonna animate, like frames per second. And two, I need to come up with my character, like what's my character gonna be. And for the frames, I decided to go for 7 frames per second, because I was kind of split whether I should do 6 or 8 frames per second. So I decided to go in the middle. And for an animation that's 2 minutes and 9 seconds long, it doesn't sound that long, but in total, that's 903 frames for 2 minute animations and 7 frames per second. So, obviously, this was going to take a bit. Now, for my character, I decided to go for the character that this person drew me in this video, where he replied to one of my comments and he drew me like this. So I decided to kind of took inspiration from that and drew my character that looked like that. Oh wait, speaking of the character, if you're going to draw something like a character, add layers. Layers are super important. The character I drew, it has 5 layers. The head, the body, the arms, the legs, and the facial features. And it helps so much. Please do layering. It can save you so much time and so much work. Now, the animation took place across 4 days, about March 20th and March 23rd. It's basically 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 4. That's 4. I'm pretty sure. I know how to count. And in that time, the first night was like 4.5 hours of animating. And for that night, I got 40 seconds done. Hey, it was progress. Then for the other day, I didn't do much animation, like 30 minutes. And then for this day, I did almost 4 hours, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it might have been like 4 hours of animation. And I was almost done with that at the point. So then for the last day, it was like an hour and a half. And I finished the animation. So as you combined all of the lengths of things that I recorded for the live streams, then it took 11 hours. 11 hours to make an animation that was 2 minutes long. Because another difficulty with that is that I wanted to have lip sync too, because I wanted to make it look and sound really good. So the lip sync took me a little bit. It's not perfect, but it is fine. But yeah, in total, 30 minutes for the script, almost 30 minutes for the recording, 11 hours for the animation. That's over 12 hours to make a 2 minutes and 9 minute video, which it's a lot. But you know what? I don't care. Okay, I'm happy I made something, made an animation, because that work that I did was filled with me being tired, me being determined, and me just wanting to give up multiple occasions, but I kept going because I knew that it was going to take a long time. So I just pushed through and managed to make the video. And I'm so happy you did, because it turned out amazing. Really good. And also, yeah, I just am really happy that I did post it and I was able to make it. But the video's not over yet, so don't leave. Because, it took me a while to make the animation. And like I said, I did make live streams about it. I'm not going to post a live stream to the public, because if I did, it would look and sound like this. So yeah, I won't be releasing that. So yeah, that's the entire animation journey. Uh, Sorry I can't show you all the animation. Like I said, that'd be just too long and would look really bad. But don't leave yet, because while animating, I learned a few things that I think will be helpful to you if you want to use animation. So here are some tips. So for walking, if you want to do like a shot where you don't want to add the legs, then draw the characters like first down 3 times or 2 times, how many times you want, and then bring them back up by repeating the same frames that you already used but make them backwards. If you do that, it will look something like this. And that's the same thing with animating like legs. Just like draw some frames like of them walking and then repeat those frames walking back, and it'll bring you a walking animation, which will look, if you do it right, pretty cool. Also, if you're animating, make sure to have breaks and stretch every 30 to 60 minutes, because sitting down animating is definitely going to be tough on your back, especially if you're either just leaned over or just like, okay, draw. But you definitely kind of just lean over on the computer, just kind of drawing. So make sure you just get up and stretch once in a while, so you can feel better in your back and you just feel a little more comfortable. Maybe get some food or drinks if you're hungry or thirsty. It's really important to take breaks with animation. Don't just constantly do animation, because then obviously you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get thirsty, you're gonna get hungry, and you're not gonna be that active to actually animate. And lastly, set a schedule. Like, pick out which day that you're free and you can have time to animate. Don't just randomly do animating, especially if you have stuff going on that you need to do. Then set a good schedule of when you should animate and when you want to animate, when you have time to animate or work on animation. I know those are like small tips, but they can help you a lot when doing some animation. But yeah, that's basically everything I want to tell you. Now, I do have one more thing I want to say, and this might be happy to all of you, but because I had so much fun making the last animation, I want to do more of that. I want to do more like storytime animation videos. It's just super fun to do, and it takes a lot of time to do, but that's why it's so rewarding when you actually finish it, because you know that they put so much hard work into those animations, and I'm gonna put a lot of work into my animations. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna also be a small storytime animator. Although I won't post my animations on this channel. It'll be on my second channel, Talent the Amazing 2.0, where I've already uploaded all my animation video kind of. So yeah, subscribe to that channel, because I am going to be posting animation storytime videos on that channel. It will not come frequently because of things like working on other videos, school, especially because at this point spring break is over. It's been over for like a week. But nonetheless, I do want to do more animations, and I will post an animation on this channel again. You can subscribe to that by going to the link down below. But yeah, that's my journey into making this. And before I officially end this video, I just want to say one more time that again, there are a lot of small animators in this YouTube space, so I found as many as I could find, and I linked them down below so you can check them out yourself, whether you like simple animation, really cool fast-paced animations, high quality animations, really good looking animations, any animations. I found some, and I'll link them down below, all the ones I can find. Um, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, have a good time, and goodbye. Keep up the hard work, you animators.